It's funny how people think that the Israeli government cares about what the United States says or what any other nation says about what they're doing. The Israeli government does not care about laws whatsoever. All the Israeli government cares about is committing genocide and killing as many Palestinians as possible because they think they have the right to murder Palestinians. This is why the Israeli government only cares about the United States so that the United States can defend the Israeli government and provide them with money and weapons. Other than that, I mean, if the Israeli government needed to, they would nuke the United States.
Israel says it has now set a date for an invasion of the city of Rafah, despite strong objections from the United States. Palestinians are returning to scenes of destruction in areas where Israeli troops have pulled out for now. As Holly Williams reports, many are finding there's hardly anything left of their homes.
Yeah, and this is these people have been bombed into poverty with the help of the United States because the United States also loves to see the genocide of brown people. That's why when it comes to Ukraine, the United States does everything it can to help Ukrainians survive because they're white.
Most Israeli forces have now left southern Gaza, and thousands of Palestinians are moving around freely for the first time in months. For some, that's meant a homecoming to the city of Han Yunis. But in their once bustling communities, they found a wasteland. Half a year.
I mean, people think you can like bomb people into submission, but it just that they're gonna fight back harder against you. I mean, if these people in Gaza have the right to defend themselves against Israel and what they're doing, and I have no qualms with them fighting back against the IDF, murdering their family. If people decided to take up arms against the Israeli government, well, that's their right because Palestinians also have the right to self-defense. It's not just the Israeli government that has the right to self-defense, but Palestinians as well. Uh, if these people do decide to try to defend themselves, I am in favor of Palestinian civilians defending themselves against the invasion by the Israeli government and the land theft that they're doing in the West Bank. The Israeli government announced a few weeks ago that they're stealing land from the West Bank, and those people have the right to defend their land against the Israeli government trying to steal it. If the IDF dies by Palestinians, well, that's their fault.
The year of war has brought destruction on a colossal scale to Gaza and an unending descent into despair. Malak Mahmoud showed CBS News producer Marwan Al Ghul the ruins of what was her home. I can't find anything, she said. I lost my books and all of my belongings. Israel's
This is why nations that are in support of Palestinians need to send troops into Gaza and the West Bank to protect them, because nothing will stop the Israeli government as long as they don't see that there is a force being able to fight against them, because Palestinians don't have the weaponry and stuff to be able to defend themselves. So, like Spain and Ireland and any other nation that is in support of Palestinians, they need to send troops to Palestine so that they can help defend them from the invasion of Israel.
military says it now has no operational forces in southern Gaza and just one division inside the Gaza Strip. The other division that was there moved out over the weekend. The remaining troops are positioned along Gaza.
I mean, the Israeli government is attacking innocent civilians with tanks. These innocent Palestinians, they don't have tanks themselves, they don't have fighters, they don't have 2,000-pound bombs, but the Israeli government is still using that against them, thinking that they're the good guys, murdering 30,000 innocent civilians, murdering aid workers, murdering UN workers, murdering diplomats. These aren't the good guys. The Israeli government are evil.
Gaza's border with Israel, and to the north, where the Israelis have built a new road cutting across the Gaza Strip from east to west, thought to be part of Israel's planning for after the war. The military says the
Yeah, because the Israeli government wants to destroy everything in Gaza and then rebuild it for Israel. They're planning on stealing all the land in Gaza so that they can make it for Israel. That is genocide. That is a war crime.
troops who've pulled out are recuperating and preparing for future missions. And despite US opposition, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel's now set a date for an offensive in the southern city of Rafah, where around 1.5
BB Hitler is telling us the date that they're going to commit genocide, and no one is actually doing anything to try to stop it. When this was Nazi Germany, the entire world, well, most of the world, sent troops to try to stop Hitler from genociding people. But when it's Palestinians, it's a-okay. When it's Ukrainians, everybody's gonna send troops and money and weapons to Ukraine to help them defend against Russia. But when it's Palestinians, all they're gonna do is just tell Israel that they're being bad and not send in troops or aid or anything to help them.
million people are sheltering. That date, though, is unspecified.
And you would think more people would actually want to send troops when the Israeli government is attacking UN staff, attacking UN shelters, attacking diplomats, but still, these nations won't send in troops because they're afraid of fighting against Israel because the United States would just label them as terrorists and bomb them into a hellhole because the United States just loves to murder people. That's all the United States is about. That's why they invaded Afghanistan and Iraq, so that the United States could murder millions of people over a lie.
The US says there's a ceasefire deal on the table for Hamas. But a spokesman for Hamas told CBS News the latest negotiations in Cairo over the weekend were a